without further ado, I want to bring in Peter Gorski from the La Crosse Public Library. And Peter's going to be talking about an event that runs the course of the fall, and that is called the Driftless Regional Read. So, Peter, why don't you take it away and share share this event? It's a really cool one.
Yeah, so the Regional Read is back for 2022. If you don't know what that is, it is essentially a big community-wide book club and a series of programs, generally kind of around the themes or topics in the book. You might be familiar with previous years. Waking Up White was last year. That was put together by kind of an independent steering committee. And there were a couple of titles before COVID, A Lesson Before Dying and Station 11. But this year, the book is Flight Behavior by Barbara Kingsolver, as you can see on this slide. And it is going to be really centered on climate change. So, you know, what better audience to get involved than Sustainability Institute chat attendees. So I just want to thank everyone who worked on this too. The library kind of did the meeting setting and all the central planning, I guess, but we had tons of help from Western Technical College, the Franciscan Sisters of Perpetual Adoration, multiple UWL professors were helping on that as well. The Winona and La Crescent Public Libraries are both involved, and we had some city elected officials as well as city employees working on that. So just wanted to thank them all at the start for putting a lot of work into this effort. So yeah, the Regional Read has officially kicked off. We started in late August, which means we are distributing the books. Our funding has allowed us to buy a couple hundred copies of the book to give out for free. So you don't have to check them out. You can just come down to the library and take one, and it is yours to keep. We really want to decrease the barrier of not giving you a time crunch on it. And then that way, if you like it, you can pass it on to a friend, get other people involved. You can keep it. If you don't like it, you can use it as doorstop, or you can bring it back down to the library and we will pass it on to another person. So there will be book chats, basically book clubs throughout the read, which is going to run pretty much till before Thanksgiving holidays. So it'll run through early November. And the book chats are all independent of each other. It's not like a book club in which you have to read a couple chapters and then come back. They're all independent. They're just going to discuss the whole book. You know, there's some in La Crosse and some in La Crescent, some in Winona. So you can come to one, you can come to all of them. They should all be a unique discussion with different facilitators and different people there to make different conversations. And then concurrent with all of that, we're going to have a whole host of programs. Actually, Casey, if you want to share the website, we can scroll through those a little. And again, the programs are really over a wide variety of different topics related to climate change. I'm sure you all are aware climate change is a huge issue that touches upon virtually every aspect of our society and our lives. And so you don't have to read the book to come to any of the programs. They're not going to, the programs outside of the book chats won't be referencing the book at all. They're all totally independent. And so, yeah, one of our librarians, actually, Emily Moots, our new instructional librarian, built this website for the read. So big thanks to her. So it has all the info. You can see the homepage here. If you got a calendar of events up at the top middle link, you can get a full calendar with everything on there. So everything is linked in here. If you have to register, there will be registration links. You know, you can see the location and the time, but we have tons of stuff coming up in September. There's an overview of the Climate Action Plan. So if you haven't been following that with the city, you know, that's a comprehensive net zero plan the city has put together. They've just released the full draft. So Lewis Coleman, the environmental planner, and the head consultant that worked on that will be there, I believe, to present that in hopefully a layman's terms. It's, you know, simpler than the 160-page document that most people are not going to have the time to read through. But yeah, we've got story time for adults in September too. That's a monthly library program, just like it sounds. It's down at Turtle Stack Brewery. We don't want to let kids have all the fun, so there will be adult stories. That one will be climate change themed. We've got a professor coming in, or zooming in, to talk about climate anxiety and our emotions, and how our emotional response really affects how effective we are in trying to deal with climate change, and how we can try to do that in a healthier and more effective manner. You know, there's some program on nuclear energy toward the end. We'll have a board game that Casey's going to lead. That one does require registration to kind of make collaborative climate solutions. There will be a program on just transition and what that means. They've got stuff on butterfly gardens and hiking out in Minnesota. There'll be a tour of the hub, some solar tours going on online. So just a whole host of stuff. And we will have many of these recorded and some of them having Zoom options as well. So you can always get back to that website, which was again, driftlessregionalread.com. So we'll post the programs up there once they're done, if we do have recordings, and we'll hopefully have more resources and some more interactive elements probably as this goes on. But with that, yeah, I would just encourage everybody to check it out and come to anything that looks good and tell your friends about it. You know, our goal here was to try to find new avenues into audiences to discuss sustainability and climate change, you know, that might not be people that might not be focused on it as much as they are in their personal life, to maybe pull them in through programs that they might not normally associate to climate change, or through reading and through book clubs and kind of community events like that. So that's what I've got on the read. And with that, I will turn it back over to you, Casey.
Yeah, Peter, I've got a question, a couple of questions. First of all, can you just give a teaser of the book? Like, what is just a really 2-sentence synopsis of the book?
It's about a rural community dealing with climate change, I guess. Specifically, it's very monarch butterfly heavy. Yeah, thanks for reminding me of that. So it's got a lot of intersection of, you know, class and climate and poverty, and it follows a woman's personal life pretty closely too, and as she deals with kind of family issues. So it's a fiction book, and it touches on a lot of different themes. So I think there's a lot you can go off of. It'll really depend on what people want to talk about there.
Sure. And do people have to read the book to participate?
No, so the programs are totally independent. I guess you could come to the book chats without reading it. You probably wouldn't get a lot out of it, but yeah, all of the programs are standalone, and even all the book chats are standalone. As long as you read some of the book, you could come, I'm sure. Oh, and I forgot, actually, you reminded me, I forgot one part. The ebook is also available for anyone that has Libby. And if you live in the city, or if you have Hoopla, I think the county may be adding it. You can get the audiobook or the ebook for free, and that has no wait time. So I actually listened to the book instead of read it, because I didn't have the brain space to do it off the clock. So I did it while I was doing manual labor at the library.
Can you tell us a little bit about, you know, what is your goal, or what's the library's goal for this Driftless, this particular regional read? I mean, it's to introduce people to climate change, but is there anything you guys are really like, what would be a successful outcome for you at the library?
I think we'd love to just have more community conversations about climate change and get more people involved in talking about those topics. I think ultimately we'd love to drive people to be more involved with the Climate Action Plan in La Crosse, particularly if you're local to La Crosse. That should hopefully be voted on toward the end of the year or toward early next year. I'm not sure what the exact month is for the vote on the Climate Action Plan, but yeah, I think, you know, after it passes, if we push it through, it's going to require continued community input, and it's going to require people to really step up and get involved in the efforts. It's a monumental task that we have, but, you know, and it's a 30-year time scale, so it's a lot of planning and a lot of work, and the more people we can get behind that, the better.
Terrific. Peter, is there anything else that we need to know about the regional read?
I don't think so. And if anyone has questions, we'll get to them at the end.
Yeah, if you've got questions, type them in the chat. Be sure to check out that website, driftlessregionalread.com. It's in the chat box as well. Peter, thank you so much for joining us and being one of the people to bring this event to our area. I think there's just some fantastic programming going on through the regional read. So I would encourage anyone listening today to really comb through that calendar of events and see what interests you. There's a lot of things out there, a lot of good programming, and I know the committee's worked pretty hard to bring this to people. So Peter, thank you so much.
Thank you.